Hello everyone. In this video, we will be talking about Brian Steele. So Brian Steele is a defense attorney that has been very famous from the YSL trial when Young Thug and his co-defendants were accused of doing racketeering, the Rico charges. Brian Steele also served as the attorney on the team of Diddy. So he was a member of the legal team. And recently, Combs was found guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, but he was acquitted on the other accounts. Diddy was facing a count on Rico. So, in my opinion, I do think that Brian Steele contributed to this verdict because basically the RICO charge may not have anything to do with freak-offs, according to some, because technically the RICO charges have to do with things like the mafia or racketeering drugs and stuff like that. So the jury was not convinced that it had to do with a RICO charge. Doesn't mean that it was immoral or he wasn't doing things he shouldn't have been doing, but in this situation, the jury did not feel it applied here. So Brian Steele has 2 RICO victories under his belt, and many attorneys in Atlanta are praising him for his work. Now, it doesn't mean people have to agree with Diddy if he was guilty or not. There's been debate about that. Some people think he was not guilty of the charges, some people think he is guilty, and many were saying he was going to be found guilty. Now, in my experience of watching trials, I am not educated or a lawyer in this field, but I like to watch trials. There's been times where I thought people would be innocent, but they weren't. Times where I thought people were guilty, but they weren't. The juries could be unpredictable. So I always said throughout this entire thing that a jury could be unpredictable, and I can see situations in this trial where people may not, which I'm referring to the jury when I say people, the jury may not think that he was guilty on certain counts. I could see the way it was just set up, and the prosecution had it painted a certain way, where the defense was able to paint it another way in the favor of Diddy. But then the defense was saying how they admitted that they believed that Diddy was violent. This was one of the reasons why the judge did not grant him bail, because usually they want to keep people incarcerated. And the judge also can see this behavior Diddy has had in his temper. So this is why it was denied, along with probably some other reasons. Agnifilo was the lead. Brian Steele was not leading it, but he was on the team. And I did think when Brian Steele joined in that he certainly would have things go into his favor. And what I estimated probably would happen with this trial did occur, because the jury's just unpredictable. He had Brian Steele on his team along with the other good attorneys, so this caused Diddy to have the outcome he had. Now, I will also say it is, how many years will he face? It is possible that he could get up to 20 years, but I highly doubt he's going to get 20 years. He could get possibly 2 or 3 under certain circumstances, or it could be 7. It just depends how everything goes with the sentencing. There are a couple of different factors that take into consideration. There's time served, there's good behavior, if he takes responsibility for what he did. There will be a hearing on the 8th about his sentencing, which will be on October 3. And this was a very wild trial. Also, there's a situation where they were throwing baby oil in the audience at the outside the courthouse. It's been a clown show the entire time, but the clown show finale at the court zoo happened. Brian Steele is known for his zealousness during court. He defends his defendants very well. He gets very personal with them. He gets very friendly, very charming, and many people all over the chats like him. Many people don't like Diddy, but they still support him, and I think he is very good at what he does, especially during the YSL trial. So he has become famous by defending these people. As time goes on, we will see if we see Brian Steele in more cases in the future. He is excellent at Rico cases. Alright, everybody. That's all I have to say for this video. Thank you for watching.